My blood surged as I gripped the phone, voice shaking with rage. "How dare you trespass on my property?" I shouted. But Margaret Reynolds, the iron-fisted HOA president of Pine Lake Estates, just smirked through her words. My lake cabin-me private sanctuary had been selected for her exclusive VIP party for the Hughes family. No permission, no discussion. The email was a cold demand: comply or face violations that had cost thousands. She thought she could bully me into submission, but she didn't know about the sophisticated systems I'd installed, lying dormant until now. This wasn't just a party. It was an invasion, and Margaret was about to walk into a revenge trap that'd make her regret ever crossing me. 3 years ago, I, James Carter, bought this cabin for its breathtaking views of Pine Lake, nestled against Colorado's mountains. It was more than a home. It was a promise to my late wife, Sarah, who dreamed of our perfect getaway before cancer stole her away. I'd spent countless hours blending rustic charm with modern tech, crafting a haven where I felt her presence. That morning, as I sipped coffee by the window, her framed photo on my desk a reminder of our last trip to Yuzik grounded me in peace. Then the email arrived, shattering the calm. Notice: property selection for Hughes' welcome event. My cabin was to host a party for Catherine and Michael Hughes, connected to the governor, on June 15th. I was to vacate by the 14th, per some obscure Regulation 14.3. I scoured the HOA bylaws. Regulation 14.3 applied only to emergencies or community-voted events. This was neither. Furious, I called the HOA office, but the secretary's monotone dismissal, "Being selected is an honor, Mr. Carter," only fueled my anger. I demanded voting records. She claimed they were internal. My sanctuary, built for Sarah, was being hijacked, and I wasn't about to let it slide. I drove to the HOA office, a polished building reflecting the mountains, and faced Margaret Reynolds. Her office, with its oversized desk and plaques, screamed intimidation. Mid-50s, with perfect blonde hair and a smile that never reached her eyes, she extended a manicured hand. "Mr. Carter, how nice to meet you." There was no vote, was there? I snapped, skipping pleasantries. "You can't take my property for a party." Her smile tightened. "As HOA president, I have discretionary powers. The Hughes family's goodwill is vital to our community." When I pressed, her voice dropped to a whisper, unheard by her secretary's recorder. "If you don't cooperate, we might find building code violations at your cabin. Costly ones." The threat hit like a gut punch, stirring memories of powerlessness from years past, when I couldn't save Sarah. As I drove back, her words echoed alongside Sarah's dying wish. "James, don't let anyone trample what we've built. Stand up for yourself." Emma Larson, a high school teacher and rare friend in Pine Lake, waved me down. "Let me guess, Margaret Reynolds?" she said, leaning against my car. She confirmed Margaret's pattern of abuse. Last year, a family refused her fundraiser demands and was buried in fines until they sold at a loss. Guess who bought their property through a shell company? Robert Reynolds, Margaret's husband. Back at my cabin, I stared at the security system I'd installed but never activated, a relic from my defense contractor days labeled Project Sentinel. Sarah's last letter, tucked in a drawer, urged me: "Don't let anyone take what I've left you." Maybe it was time Margaret learned a lesson. I spent the night at my drafting table, cabin blueprints spread out, wrestling with turning our sanctuary into a battlefield. Project Sentinel was a non-lethal defense system: LED panels for illusions, low-frequency sound, climate control tweaks, and more designed to protect without harm. I'd left that job when it veered toward aggression, becoming a remote security consultant instead. By dawn, Emma stopped by with coffee and news. Board members didn't recall voting to use my cabin. "Margaret might have faked the records," she said. I researched Colorado laws, confirming my right to record and deploy defensive measures. My lawyer friend verified my plan's legality. When Margaret's team, including Edward Brooks and a reluctant Robert Reynolds, arrived for a walkthrough, her disdain for my belongings, dismissing Sarah's keepsakes as clutter, hardened my resolve. I rigged the cabin. LED panels to project a fake HOA meeting exposing Margaret's lies, a sound system to emit irritating tones, climate control to overheat, hidden cameras with legal notices, and a mist system for the deck. At the hardware store, I ran into David Mitchell, an HOA board member. Preparing for the big event, he asked, his tone hinting at unease. I don't recall voting on it, he admitted when I pressed, promising to check records. That evening, Emma offered to help manage systems remotely, her late husband's IT skills making her a perfect ally. I sent my lawyer evidence of Margaret's abuses, including falsified minutes Edward had left behind, ensuring a legal shield. Party day dawned sunny. From Emma's house across the lake, we watched via security feeds as caterers swarmed my cabin, Margaret's vision taking shape. Guests arrived, board members, locals, and the polished Catherine and Michael Hughes. Margaret air-kissed and laughed too loudly, claiming my lake view as her own. Time for trap one, I whispered. Emma raised the cabin's temperature. Within minutes, guests fanned themselves, Margaret sweating in her wool suit but deflecting. Just a technical glitch. As discomfort grew, she herded everyone to the deck, where Emma triggered the mist system. A gentle spray dampened dresses, sending guests scrambling inside, Margaret's hair frizzing as she forced a laugh about mountain weather. In the living room, I activated the TV, displaying HOA financial records with $30,000 in questionable administrative costs. David Mitchell leaned forward, snapping photos. This seems excessive, Catherine Hughes remarked, her tone icy. Margaret jabbed the remote, claiming a glitch, but the system was locked. Then the audio trap. Margaret's voice boomed, mocking the Hughes family's fashion and status. The room froze. Catherine stood, glacial. Richard, let's go. Margaret's facade cracked, her pleas ignored as a guest recorded her meltdown, whispering, "This is going viral." Robert arrived, disheveled, and dropped a bomb. "Those numbers look real." Margaret takes what isn't hers. The crowd gasped at his betrayal. I nodded to Emma, and the LED panels transformed the walls into a fake HOA meeting, projecting falsified minutes. David demanded the full recording, and Margaret's voice resumed, insulting the Hughes family's desperate social climbing. Chaos erupted. I triggered the final Troppa targeted water spray soaking Margaret, her makeup streaming, outfit ruined. Guests fled, grabbing food or purses, as Catherine condemned her. "Is this how you treat neighbors?" David announced an emergency audit, and board members circled, phones out, planning action. Robert, swaying, confessed years of covering for Margaret's bullying. She just wanted acceptance, he slurred, but chose the wrong way. Margaret, drenched and defeated, stormed out, Robert trailing. I returned at dawn, cleaning the mess-discarded napkins, overturned furniture, a faint dampness. Restoring Sarah's photo, I whispered, "I kept our promise, love." But trouble wasn't over. Margaret arrived with security, thrusting a vacate order for violations. I invited her in, displaying evidence, falsified minutes, recordings of her threats, footage of her team tossing Sarah's keepsakes into a trash bag. "These were my wife's," I said, voice hard. "She loved this cabin." A flicker of shame crossed Margaret's face, but she blustered, "This won't hold up." Robert stepped forward. "It's over, Margaret." I helped gather the evidence. She paled, betrayed. A knock interrupted. David, Catherine, and board members stood outside. "You've been removed as president," David declared, handing Margaret a document. "We apologize to Mr. Carter and will compensate damages." Catherine joined the board, vowing change. Margaret's world collapsed. "I just wanted respect," she choked, tears falling, before leaving with Robert. Weeks later, Pine Lake transformed, new rules protected homeowners, and my cabin was restored. I hosted Emma and David, toasting a better community. Alone on the porch swing Sarah and I built, I felt her presence in the lake's golden glow. "It's still ours," I whispered. An email Ayurveda homeowner elsewhere needed help with their own corrupt HOA, referencing a podcast about a Colorado cabin's tech takedown. Smiling, I typed a reply. Project Sentinel wasn't done yet. Sometimes, justice comes through traps your enemy never sees until it's too late.